from a galaxy far, far away.
And a bookshelf straight out of the 90s.
From Thrawn to Dantooine.
And everything in between. This is Legends Look Back.
Welcome, everybody, to a very special, very important episode. I know it looks like I'm dressed for a funeral, but we are here for the 100th episode of Legends Look Back, and I legitimately never thought I would say those words for a number of reasons. And yet here we are. It is time for a very super special episode that we've been planning for months, years? Yeah, we'll say years we've been planning this. Finally, in all of his green glory, we are celebrating the greatest Star Wars Expanded Universe character of all time, Corran Horn. Guys, are we ready for a full-on Corran Horn character spectacular?
Can't wait. I've been looking forward to this day for a long, long time.
It looks like you're ready to marry him, I mean, to be honest. Surprise wedding. We're going to have Emily marrying Corran Horn live on air. No, we're not. However, you did surprise us one time with an actual baby, so there was that.
I did.
We are talking about Corran joining the Rogue Squadron. Corran from there, obviously, finds out, spoiler alert, for the X-Wing series. You've been warned. 5, 4, 3, 2, becomes a Jedi.
What?
It's because he rubs his medallion, Rick.
Oh.
The medallion.
He does rub it.
He rubs it a lot with his daddy issues. With his daddy's medallion. Turns out, surprise, your grandpappy was a Jedi.
Yeah.
And the Halcyon, so that's become relevant all over again. He likes green, wears the green Jedi robes, becomes that one. He looks like a guy that needs money at a gas station. You know what I'm saying? Not that there's anything wrong with that, but obviously a very storied character in the Star Wars Expanded Universe. What's your favorite Corran Horn moment, guys?
I don't really like any of them, quite frankly.
Come on, you can't have that attitude on our
Oh my
Corran
gosh,
Horn
I'm
character. It's
just
spectacular.
kidding. Corran Horn? I mean, it was pretty funny when he got, space herpes from that tiger creature.
It's called Hapes.
Oh, yes? Uh-huh. Yep.
Yeah, no, the Salonian, the otter.
The Salonian. He did have relations with that woman, the Salonian. Yes, he did. And he broke out in chives.
The chives, that's right.
He did. Uh-huh.
Absolutely. The chives.
Is that this picture? I can't really tell.
I think so. I think so. Mm-hmm.
Is that what the purple flakes are?
Maybe. Is it the chives?
I personally like that in iJedi, and I'm serious, that Mike Stackpole retcons the Jedi Academy trilogy to have, there he is. It's a far cry from that last image we looked at with the gas station, Corran Horn, where he retcons the Jedi Academy trilogy to have Corran Horn save Luke's temple from Exar Kun's ghost. Because Stackpole didn't like the way that story went down, and just rewrote it and made Corran Horn the protagonist. And the idea that Corran Horn upstages an entire trilogy in order to be the hero is the most Corran Horn thing that ever happened, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, it is.
It's all about me.
Yeah.
It truly is. I mean, I think that's the way he lives his life, and I think that is, the way he is portrayed pretty much throughout, and it's kind of a giant love letter to all, fantasy men everywhere, right? Like he's the ideal man, right? Like he gets all the women. He's a hot shot,
He's Space Batman.
Space
in green
Batman.
robes.
You're right. Yep. Why am I on this show?
We're finally celebrating Corey's favorite character in all of Star Wars. His that other great moment when his wife gets kidnapped, and instead of saving her,
Yeah, he goes on a quest.
he joins the Jedi Academy.
He does. Yeah, he's like, I think I need to be trained in the Jedi arts so I can save my wife, even though that takes literally years. It'll be fine. She'll be
I think
fine.
he did an accelerated course,
Something like that.
3 months.
He
That's all the training you need. How long do you think Luke actually spent on Dagobah? 2 weeks?
Not even.
Yeah, you can just skip it again.
72 hours.
We just
Enjoying the.
I've been watching that with my kids lately, and it is extremely heartwarming. We got to the big Vader reveal. Spoiler alert. for Empire Strikes Back.
Wow.
Vader says to Luke, "No, I am your father." Right, and my 4-year-old looked at me and said, "He's his father for real life."
For real life.
Yes.
I was like, I want to remember this moment for the rest of my life. And it has now made its way onto our 100th episode of Legends Look Back. Guys, I do have a bit of an announcement to make. First of all, if you're joining us here live in the chat, thank you. Really appreciate all the love. Tremendous love here in the chat. It has been a long and arduous and legendary journey to get here. Happy to have Corey Helton making his very first appearance on Legends Look Back. We think? We were trying to remember for sure. We're like 99% sure. So we're declaring it, sweeping declaration, his first ever appearance live on Legends Look Back. It is not, however, going to be a Corran Horn character spectacular. I think we said enough about Corran Horn.
Thank God. I don't know if I could have gone on with that bit much longer, Jared, if I'm being honest. I truly,
Really good
truly,
at milking the bit.
unironically dislike the character of Corran Horn. I think it's like a big running joke that like he's like secretly my favorite character. No, he really isn't. I do truly actually dislike the character. Okay, all right. As long as we're all on the same page. All on the same page.
I truly, genuinely like the character.
It's hilarious. And I don't know that there is another major protagonist as divisive as Corran Horn. Like people either loved iJedi or they utterly despised it. And unfortunately, it became part of my brand in this positivity-based Star Wars company that I built.
That's right.
That I hate the character Corran Horn. So
to cover
dear.
for Corey, a lot of us do like Corran Horn.
All right.
He shares the same initials with Corey Helton, so there's a redeeming quality.
Don't remind me, please.
Corey also, instead of saving the love of his life, went to medical school.
I did.
So there's that.
I did.
Anyway, he's got a redemptive journey, a redemptive arc. By the time he gets to the new Jedi Order, you skip those, so you don't even know.
That's right.
Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you don't have to get very deep in. It's like the second and third book. Corran, he saves. Spoiler alert! For this is our third spoiler alert, and we're 10 minutes in. He saves an entire planet by challenging a Yuuzhan Vong to an honor duel.
Doesn't surprise me at all. Does he do it while naked? He probably does, right?
And on that note, Rick, without further ado, let's throw Corran Horn out the airlock and let's start the show. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 100th episode of Legends Look Back. We are proudly part of the Youtini Podcast Network, a Star Wars books podcast for people whose books are held together with Elmer's glue and wishful thinking, where we celebrate our rich EU history as well as dive into lesser-known Star Wars classics. I wrote that weeks ago and was like, what am I about to say here? And I'm glad I got the laugh, Emily. I'm your host, Jared Mace, and I'm joined for the 100th-ish time by the sharpest dressed man in the galaxy, Freddie C.
Hello, everyone. It's me, Freddie C. I think that's gonna be the intro to my game show, right? The '90s game show that I'm hosting.
It's me, Freddie C.
Hi, guys. This is the 100th episode of Legends Look Back. This is a huge day for all of us. Corey, don't know how he gave us permission to do this, but he did, and because of him, here we are talking about the stuff we love the most.
Yeah, I am so excited. You know, Freddie, I was saying to a friend the other day, you're trying to explain... You ever try to do this? You ever try to explain Youtini to people who don't know about Youtini? Or people who don't know about Star Wars?
Or don't
know about YouTube? I mean, yeah, I'm like, I've got a weekly live podcast, but it's not just for your ears. It's also for your eyes. It's on the internet. Every week, every single week. Yeah, I've done this for 100 shows. We talk about Star Wars. Oh, great, I love Star Wars. No, not that Star Wars. We talk about the irrelevant and outdated Star Wars that you don't know anything about.
Oh,
and
man.
we do it every single week. Every single week, that's right. And I was telling a friend the other day, you know what? Star Wars, sure, I love it. Absolutely. But genuinely, the friendships we've made along the way, so much more important than any of the Star Wars.
Without a doubt.
And it has been an honor. I unironically call Freddie my Star Wars wife, and I truly mean that from the bottom of my heart. You know who else I love from the bottom of my heart, but not in a weird way? Even though she's wearing a wedding dress, Emily Daybeck.
I wasn't sure who you were going with for that one, so
I couldn't remember either.
That's fine. Thank you.
Not in a weird way.
I am wearing a vintage wedding dress that I acquired for free, and I was inspired to recreate the courtship of Princess Leia for tonight's celebration.
Gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
I'm
really
sure
did
you can
it.
see the resemblance.
Wow.
So,
It is
I mean,
spectacular.
I cannot compete
Cosplay.
with Freddie. I feel really salty that you made me go after him, but that's okay. That's okay.
I know, he's stealing
Different
the
vibes.
spotlight, Freddie. Look what you did.
That's
You're not supposed-
you're not
Amazing.
supposed to steal the.
No.
You're not supposed to steal the spotlight from a lady on her wedding day, Freddie. That's like rule number 1. Come on.
That really is an uncanny.
Yeah, the head
resemblance.
thing is phenomenal.
The cut of the dress, all of it. Now we just need our producer, Rick Grace, to try to impersonate Fabio, a.k.a. Prince Iceholder, from the same cover. Instead, he looks more like maybe a card dealer.
Yeah.
How are you doing, Rick?
Yeah.
Glad to have you
Thank
here.
you. I'm here. Place your bets. Ante up. I'm the teetotaling bartender with my crazy water and Coke. So ready to go.
Now just shake him around a little bit.
Yeah.
And you can really,
But not
Really
stirred, am I right?
really sell it. Wow. Looking sharp,
Thank
Rick.
you.
I don't think I've ever seen you wearing anything other than cargo shorts.
No, I'm still wearing cargo shorts. Yeah. Don't you want to see?
Do not confuse
No, Rick.
his professionalism with his
You
sense
look
of
nice,
style.
Rick. Usually you look like crap. Thanks for finally putting some effort into this, buddy.
Hey, business up. Oh, okay, never mind. I'm not gonna.
This is fantastic. And, of course, joining for the very first time in the history of Legends Look Back, only took 100 episodes, the CEO of Youtini.com, Dr. Corey Helton.
Hello, everyone. What an honor to finally be on this show. Seriously, 100 episodes, guys. This is a really big deal. I mean, I'm not sure if folks realize it, but something like 1% of podcasts make it to episode 30, and I guarantee you it's got to be like 0.001% make it to 100. So, like, this is a really big deal. 100 is triple digits, guys. So, seriously, I mean, the fact that you guys all get together independently of the whole Youtini team and do this every single week is astounding. Like, as you say about the old and outdated Star Wars, right? It's just, you're right. The friendships that we've made along the way is what makes this thing so worth it. And it's such an honor to be here celebrating with you guys. Thank you so much for asking, for sure.
I'm
All
sobbing
right,
over
pull
here.
yourself
So-
together, all right? Pull
So
yourself together.
touching. Oh my gosh. Well, happy to have you. Honestly, we have wanted to get you on for, I don't know, 20 episodes or so. We've been batting it around, and I was like, hold up. We're approaching 100. It's going to be epic. It's going to be amazing. And then at the last minute, I balked on the idea about the corn horn thing because I didn't honestly think that we could do it. But made for a good bit. Some say too long of a bit. Some others
you
don't
could say that.
Decrease in viewership.
Yeah, the
We
people
lost a
say
couple
that.
viewers, yeah.
They're
The
voting
numbers
with their
speak for
clicks.
themselves, Jared.
What numbers? Whose numbers?
The points are made up and the
Never
rules
tell
don't
me the
matter.
odds.
I will say
That's right.
whenever Freddy's visual appearance blessed us, the numbers just skyrocketed. So we definitely went viral for like half a second. So
As they should. Freddie, that is the most
It's
remarkable
seriously
thing I've ever
impressive.
seen in my
Thank
entire
you.
life.
Appreciate it.
I've seen a Jackson cosplayer, and I'm telling you, that is the most remarkable thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
I think this is if anybody cosplays as Legends Look Back, which we have someone out there who's going to do it. You might have to grab
That's
this
right.
suit here.
yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah, we do
For
have
our
a fan who...
for the audio listeners, Freddie is fully decked out in this insane 90s suit. I don't know where it came from. He's got a gold dress shirt and a blue bow tie. Go to YouTube and look at the video. It is ridiculous.
It's worth your
It is worth it.
It's
It
got
is.
the Taco Bell geometric shapes.
does.
Yes.
Yep.
The
And,
Saved by the Bell vibe.
and the middle school sock hop in the back, right? Sock hop. Is that what they say nowadays?
It does look like he's at a middle school dance. He's got a disco ball.
Cop? What the heck you were talking about?
Yeah, a sock
I know
hop.
the sock
It's
hop.
the middle
Yeah, that's
school
definitely
dance,
what it
but
is. Of course.
You have to wear socks.
I mean, it's
For
a very
sure.
confusing name.
Yeah, I totally went to the middle school dance. I didn't stay home and play Knights of the Old Republic. No, not me. I definitely was at the dance, for sure. Well, I am very happy to get to celebrate the show, we do have to say thank you to everybody who's helped us to get here, and it has been truly a lot of people. In a second, we're going to run down through the sheer number of people who have helped the show get to this point. We are also going to be celebrating everything that we love about Legends. In fact, this is an awards show of a sort, not like the other one, the Youtinis. No, we didn't put nearly that much effort into it. Instead, like in Legends Look Back fashion, we are going to play it by the hip a little bit, like Greedo who shoots first. We are going to give awards for our favorite Star Wars books, our favorite Star Wars Legends, of course. Favorite Legends book, favorite Legends comic. We got the Jedi, favorite Sith, favorite bounty hunter, which I tried to cut from the notes, and Freddie said never. We're going to talk about the weirdest stories in Star Wars Legends, the most romantic stories in Star Wars Legends, the best space battle, the best lightsaber fight, and of so much more. So without further ado, we do have to, however, thank some of our new patrons. We've got 2 new patrons to shout out this week, Robert Thomas and a published Star Wars author who was recently on an episode of the Star Wars Archives, Corey Herndon, who wrote the Planet Hoppers articles. That was an absolutely fantastic interview.
Yeah, it was.
A great guy, and happy to have him as part of the family, for sure. And without further ado, Freddie, take the folks back in time a little bit to how Legends Look Back developed. Where did the show start? Before we get to the awards proper, I got to look for my trophies real quick. There's no trophies. Tell the good folks how this came to be what it is. You got 1 minute.
Okay, 1 minute. Well, let's talk about the very beginning. There was Corey's call to action post-Chicago celebration, and Corey had the idea that this Youtini thing needed a podcast wing of entertainment, and we did it. I was part of the production team on the first few shows. I can't tell how long that lasted. I think it was when Legends Look Back started. But before that, I was on an episode. I can't remember. Wes always knows what number it is. It's like 8 or 9.
It was very
Freddy
early.
Strikes Back. Yeah, something
sounds
like
It was
that.
the Tweaker episode.
That's right.
Freddie, is that the episode where you said Darth Plagueis was your favorite
He
canon
did.
book?
He said Darth Plagueis was his favorite canon, and he called from his cell phone, and there was some screaming person in the background. We're like, Freddie, what is going on? And he's like, oh, that's just a tweaker. Don't worry about it. Then he just continued this long monologue about something Star Wars. We're just like, I think about that every single time I see a tweaker now, Freddie. Every single time. It's never going to leave my mind. It's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
That's how Legends
Anyway.
Look Back came about.
It is.
Tweakers.
Wow.
We knew you were perfect for
I
that because you
remember-
weren't perfect for the Living Force. So
Well, honestly, I got I'm out
That's
on a
not true.
run
That's not
or mowing the yard or something, and I'm listening to that episode and I'm thinking, I really like this Freddie
It's
guy.
hilarious,
We've got a
yeah.
lot in common. They're like, no, Freddie, tell us your favorite canon book, and he said, I'm not changing my answer to Darth Plagueis. You doubled down.
he
and I was
did.
like,
He doubled
the
down.
guy.
That's how we knew he was perfect for a legend-centric show. Is like, and in his defense, Plagueis is probably one of the closest to canon Star Wars Legends books there is. Like truly, it's very, very clear. It walks the line in a lot of ways. So, I can
Definitely.
feel that.
The more time goes on, the farther we get from that line.
That's
But at one
true.
point,
That's
it
true.
definitely
Yeah,
was.
it did.
Yeah, Corey messaged me and he said, hey, man, I know you wanted to get on board with the podcasting. I think we're ready to start looking into a Legends show. Love for you to take point on this and just try to figure something out. Okay, have fun. And I was so excited. I did nothing but I didn't even so much as message him back. I was just so stressed and excited. It was like when you're up to the plate in the bottom of the ninth, you're the pinch hitter, and you've been called up in the ninth inning of the World Series, Game 7.
Wow. Those are
Yeah,
some really high
sports.
stakes.
Right. That's how this felt to me, Emily. And so I drove to a thrift store to buy a microphone. And I messaged Freddie, and I said, Freddie, I know you don't know me, but I need you to talk to me about Legends tomorrow. We put together our demo show, and boy, did we have a lot to learn. I had no idea how much there was involved in
I don't think
What else
any
do
of
we need
us
to say,
did.
Freddie?
We didn't even know what advice to give you guys either, because we had not been doing a podcast for that long on Living Force either, and we were like still winging it. We didn't know anything about mics. Like, we had no money to buy you guys like stuff. Like, when we've launched other shows down the road, like, they got the full, red carpet experience with like they start with studio quality gear, and you guys just had to wing it for like how many episodes did you guys do? Like 20 or something? Like before we really got like the full support of Patreon and all that, I think. So
It could be about 20. I was thinking 18. Sounds about right. Boy, we really had a lot to learn. Freddie, how many? Tell the good folks what the original like pitch was for Legends Look Back. We didn't have any ideas for content other than we would read Legends books and talk about them.
Oh my goodness. The early years of Legends Look Back was insanity. We were reading a book every episode. We had a round table, right?
Every single episode was a round table.
So we read books weekly.
Optimistic.
Oh, that was optimistic. We did it for how many episodes? Do you recall, Jared?
I think it was 18. I think it was around the 20 mark.
18 books in about exactly
6 months.
It was bi-weekly though, right? Or like 2 to 3 weeks
but
or something.
still, like, that is in addition to a full-time job to read a book for the show every 2 weeks. In addition to other stuff we want to read for fun, I was still trying to keep up with canon books.
I don't know how you did it.
Oh, I didn't. I stopped.
It was impossible.
I had to stop.
Freddie never actually read a book. He was lying the whole time, actually.
Star Wars? What are you talking about?
Freddie eventually got good at it. He would read the first chapter and then the last chapter, and then the second chapter and then the second to last chapter. And he would sandwich his way toward the middle of the book with whatever time he had left.
Yeah, that's how the early episodes had to end up going. And thankfully, we picked a lot of books that we had already read, so it was kind of like a refresher in most cases. But we definitely dipped into some that were all very new, and it was, you had to really get through it, and it was a lot of work. And that's the thing, right? A lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff, at the very early stages of even the Living Force, we were just like, okay, how do we do this? How do we do this whole thing? And I was like, okay, well, if we can do it here, we could do it here too. And it was totally different, right? The Legends Look Back has it breathes its own life. And it has its own, run too, right? The way the Living Force ran, the way we did it, it was completely different. And there was no instructions, but we managed really well because we honestly loved the content we were doing, right?
Sure.
Legends books.
That's
and it's
right.
if I have to read a Legends book,
that and Surge,
and Surge, yes, Surge.
Dang.
If I had to read a book every other week. A Legends book, I was like, you know what? What else? What else am I gonna do?
What else? We'll do it live.
Have you ever read a Legends book while flying your airplane, Freddie?
I have not.
That's good. Don't do that.
Yeah,
but I have listened to audiobooks.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll count it. I'll allow it.
That
Do you
counts.
listen to the X-Wing books on audiobook
Oh, that would be
while you fly your
dangerous.
airplane?
You know what? Thankfully, that has not happened yet.
It's like
Thanks
Got
for
the
the idea.
Krytos trap just released, so
Man.
definitely got to get you on that.
Back in the
It'd be
day.
like
well,
when you play video games, right? You're in the joystick and you're moving your body, but I'll actually be
Uh-huh.
doing it in the plane, and that doesn't sound
Yeah.
fun.
It's like
so I've go ahead.
Sorry,
Rick.
I made the mistake of driving my school bus right after I played Mario Kart once, and I was so angry. It's like, get off the road! I'm gonna throw a blue shell at you. Yeah, but
Perfect.
yeah,
I did do some research here. Looks like we went live with episode 19. Went to live video. That was tough. There was a lot,
Yeah,
logistically,
that was hard.
technologically there. And Meg came on as our producer for a number of episodes. And a huge special thank you to Meg, especially. She and I had a good chat today, just reminiscing about the show. And then Rick and Emily came on at episode 60. Guys, it's been 40 episodes since you joined. Isn't that insane?
Wow. It's almost a full year.
yeah.
It does not
And
feel like that
absolutely,
long.
Nice.
absolutely happy to have you
I
here.
didn't realize. I guess that now I'm remembering it. We did. Both you guys came on at the exact same time. That's right. We just
We did.
we just like doubled down and nice. Good lord.
You know what it's like? It's like in Power Rangers when they have to overhaul the team because some of the teenagers went on strike because they weren't being paid well enough. And so all of a sudden, Zordon is like, it's time for these teenagers to move on with their lives. We're bringing in new teenagers.
Yeah.
Surely none of the kids will notice. The hand waved, and we were like, all right, sure, it's morphin' time, I guess. That's what it's like, guys. That's what it's like. So we're going to play a little game here as we finish up the reminiscing. And yeah, perfect,
Thank
Rick.
you.
Great morphin' time over there. As we move on to the awards proper, I've got the stats written down somewhere. Got to find my paper. And we're going to go around the horn here, and we're going to guess a number of categories. First of all, guess how many guests have been on Legends Look Back. Number 2, the number of books that we have read for the show, going all the way back to the beginning, Freddie, to episode 0. Episode 0. So Rick and Emily, yeah, look at Emily's eyes. She's like, whoa, this is not what I signed up for. It's making it a little bit more challenging, but undershoot a little bit so that my numbers sound impressive, please. Okay. Guess the number of times Freddie has referenced Star Wars Galaxies, the number of times Freddie has referenced Truce at Bakura, the number of times we've referenced a certain scantily clad emperor, and guess how many copies of Truce at Bakura Freddie owns. Okay, so starting with Rick, first and foremost, guess the number of guests on Legends Look
Guest.
Back.
23.
Wow. What a guess. Emily.
No, I think he's right. 25.
I shouldn't have reacted.
I
Freddie.
think he's right.
Guess the number of guests. I feel like we have not had that many guests.
We've slowed down some since we've had a more stable crew.
16.
And you want to guess,
I'll
Corey?
say 18.
All right. By my count, and let's be honest, I could be wrong. You are correct, Rick. Wow. 23 was my number.
Nice.
I've got Stacy, Andrew, Heather. Oh, Heather's on here twice. Oh, no, it's 22.
No!
Oh, no.
Close
All you
enough
gotta do is
to
count, Jared. Just count. Just
That
count
was
right.
Carl,
Incredible.
Corey, Eric, Charlie, Charles, Emma,
Hold on.
Cheryl,
Okay,
Nathan,
never mind.
Tim, Jake, Mark Thompson, John Jackson Miller, Tyler, Caleb, Wes, Trevor, Jose, Jacob, and Patrick.
Wow.
For I'm missing one. It's back up to 23. Jake. Nope, I said Jake. Didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Yeah,
Corey?
back down to
Yes, you
22.
did. You said Corey.
Okay,
No, you said
22.
it's 22.
Locked in, set in stone. 22 guests, and thank you to each and every one.
What about my alternate personality, Sean Connery?
But real talk, Freddie, which one of those was the best? No, don't do that. Okay, moving on.
Corey.
Let's
It's
see
me.
here.
I'm the best.
What is the number
Thank the
of books?
maker.
I'll
Sorry.
I'll give you a hint that this number is higher than the last one. And everybody in the chat, hey, by the way, please go ahead and play along, and we'll give you time to get your guesses in before we lock it in. Guess the number of round tables that we... No, the number of books, not the number of round tables.
Okay.
The number of books and or comic volumes, so not individual issues, but like story arcs. Are you with me?
What?
Guess the number of books
Okay.
we have read for Legends Look Back. Same order, Rick, you are up first.
Okay.
Going all the way back to episode 0.
All right. So let's go 63.
63, good guess. Or maybe not. Emily?
I think 45.
45. Freddie?
What was that?
Let's see.
It's not a reaction. That's what it is.
You know,
That was a reaction.
Nope, not a reaction.
I feel like for some reason
I'm a
the
great
number is
secret
like in
keeper.
the 30s. I don't know why. 'Cause I've read a lot of these. I've read all of these books.
Okay. At some point in his life, he's read all of them.
More recently, I've read all of them. And then we're doing this race to the finish, so we're definitely piling through some of these. So it's getting
There you go.
serious.
There you go.
What's your number, Freddie?
38.
I was
And
going
Corey.
to guess 38. I'll go one lower because that's how the rules work. 37.
Here's the number. Drum roll, please. Get your votes in the chat right now. Here's the crazy thing. We had already covered 2 books on episode 0.
What?
Before we even got to 1, we had already done 2 books. This show... All right, Star Wars doesn't make sense with its numbering system. The first movie is episode 4. Try explaining that to a 4-year-old. I did today. It was unsuccessful. Yeah, we did Death Troopers and Red Harvest.
Wow,
We
talked
about both of them.
wild combination.
Yeah.
What's the number? How many of you guys had?
What's the number?
43.
43?
43 is the number. 43.
Nice.
Wow.
That's right. Here we go.
It's a lot of
Death
books.
Troopers, Red Harvest, Clone Wars, Wild Space, Kenobi, which we did twice, but we're not counting it twice, Courtship of Princess Leia, Dark Empire, Tales of the Jedi, Revan, Heir to the Empire, Dark Force Rising, The Last Command, all 3 books of the Jedi Academy trilogy, 4 books of the Republic Commando, 5 of those books in that series, Rogue Squadron, Wedge's Gamble, Splinter of the Mind's Eye, oh my gosh, Darth Plagueis, Shadows of the Empire, the Han Solo trilogy, the oh no, my count is off again. I've done it. All right. Both Han Solo trilogies. We did one of those books, so that gets us up to 44. We did one of the daily books. We've done, I just wrote Whales. What book is that?
Star Trek 6.
Whalodons.
Dude, there's like
Yep,
that's a
Jedi
lot of books
Prince.
to read.
Jedi Prince.
Prince.
What a bull.
The Glove of Darth Vader with the space
Whales.
whale. Yeah. Another one of my notes, Freddie, and I kid you not, instead of a title, there's just the dinosaur emoji. What book is that?
What?
He's pulling it off the shelf, everybody.
Oh my
The
gosh.
Truce at Bakura.
Truce
That's
of Bakura
my
right
answer
here.
Yeah.
For a lot of these questions.
Wow, that one really is held together by Elmer's glue
yes.
and wishful thinking for sure. Okay, we've got Knights of the Old Republic, all 3 books in the Darth Bane trilogy. I've got a ghost emoji, the Darth Vader in the Ghost Prison, Dark Empire 2, CE. Why did I abbreviate it that way? Okay, that one is
Crimson
Empire, Empire's End, Outbound Flight, Blood Ties, Shadows of the Empire. I already said that one, didn't I? Uh-oh. Numbers off. We're calling it 43. We also talked about the Valence story arc from the Marvel Comics, Shatterpoint, and Heart of the Jedi. Those are my 43.
Are you counting like the insider collections?
All right, our number is up to... We're around 45. Okay, we're around 45.
I win.
That's right.
I think
Put
what
an
he's trying to say is
asterisk.
Emily wins.
Ish.
That
you
is
guess
correct.
45?
That is correct.
I think you did.
She did.
No, 'cause
She
we
guessed
bumped-
43.
I'm also
We bumped
winning
it
the
down
race to the
one.
finish, but
What?
I like to brag.
That's next episode. We're getting to that one next episode. But congratulations.
Oh, man.
I've got a lot to say about that. Moving on. What's the next category here? Next category is the number of times Freddie has referenced Star Wars Galaxies.
At least
There's no way
at
you
least
counted that.
once per episode.
I did not.
Okay,
No,
I was
did
going to
not.
say, holy
'Cause, like,
smokes.
that was an entire episode. So,
We'll,
like,
we'll start with the 100 and go from there.
yeah.
There you go. There you
We'll
go.
start the bidding
do
at
wonder.
100
We'll do it.
references.
I wonder if it's
At least
Exactly.
in every episode. It might be.
Oh, man.
It might be. The number of times Corey has almost pulled the plug on the show.
Oh, that's probably up there in the hundreds too, right?
Almost said never, but that's not true.
I get a DM almost weekly, so
That's not
And moving
true.
on.
If Rick
It
says
hasn't
moist
happened
one
to
more
me.
time, we're pulling it.
Dozens of episodes, literally dozens.
shelf.
Okay, let's get to the awards proper. This is going to be an award show where none of the hosts punch each other. Okay, because none of us
Slap.
are in the same room. Yeah, slap. There's no slaps in this episode of
Keep
Legends
your
Look Back.
mama's name. Wait, I messed it up already.
That's right.
so
That
Okay, there we
okay.
go. So the first presenting, I need an envelope here. The first of our awards tonight. I do have an envelope. All right, is this photo of all of us at Star Wars Celebration.
Oh.
Not all of us.
The first of the awards. Sorry, Rick, is the favorite Legends book. This probably should have been the last category, but too bad. It's first in the notes. Here we go. Our favorite Legends books. Rick, can you cue up the images? My pick for the evening is the one I'm right in the middle of right now. Recency bias? Maybe. I don't know. Darth Maul Shadowhunter.
Not this one.
No, that's not right. Get that out of my face.
Whoopsies. There it is. Darth Maul, Shadowhunter. I'm in the middle of the audiobook. It is read by Sam Witwer. There are some sentences. We're going to have to pull clips for this when we do a roundtable. We're going to do it pretty soon, in a couple of months. I believe it's our September roundtable. Darth Maul, Shadowhunter. Sam Witwer, sometimes in the same sentence, will go back and forth between his Maul voice and his Palpatine voice. Like if Maul is thinking about what Palpatine will do to him, he'll creep into that other voice. It is possibly the greatest Star Wars audiobook ever made.
Wow.
Possibly.
That doesn't surprise me. I've heard nothing but good things. And isn't it amazing how Sam Witwer has completely changed the way Maul looks and sounds in your mind's eye? Like
Totally.
even with Legends, like going back and like
That's right.
it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, he's retconning this 20-year-old book,
He
which
is.
is awesome.
Yeah, he
it's
is.
really cool.
He is.
I'm like thinking of all these Clone Wars and Rebels moments with the character now. As a book, it really is a wild ride, spectacular. And so I can't wait for us to cover it on the show. I won't say anything else about it. Let's see. Corey, you're up next. Your favorite Legends book.
Yes. We were talking about this recently on Living Force, actually, is I'm fairly well read in Legends, actually. And, I've always I don't really consider myself to be, worthy of the Legends glory praise that, folks like Jared and Freddie and Rick and Emily and like Trevor on our team have. But I have read most of them, probably about 95% of Legends books. I mean, that's why I started Youtini in the first place. So, I give that preface because it feels like it's almost cliche to say that Darth Plagueis is your favorite Legends book, because I think it's probably one of the most universally loved Legends books that are out there. But I didn't realize how good this was until I reread it recently. And when I was working on my camper last year, I listened to the audiobook for Darth Plagueis, narrated by Jonathan Davis. And it's a fascinating audiobook because the production of this is a little older, right? And some of the pronunciations hadn't quite been figured out yet. Like there was a couple really funny ones in there that I can't quite remember that were not.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Sifo
Yeah,
Dyas.
yeah, it's Sifo Dyas. That's what he says. Yeah. Because it wasn't, it wasn't quite
Say that to my
I don't
face.
know. Exactly. But I could not believe, if any of the listeners listened to Living Force, you might have remembered me raving about this. I could not believe how hard Darth Plagueis hit after all that time. The book is phenomenal. It's a masterpiece experience. Like the audiobook too is just so good.
It is.
Like I don't think it is a cliche anymore to say that Darth Plagueis is your favorite Legends book. Like it's just that good. It really is. It's probably in my top 5 of all time. Like books, not just like
my favorite
Legends.
canon book.
Like yeah. Get out, Freddie. Oh man.
There's a part of me that I used to listen to this every single year. I would just re-listen to it. Right around November, as soon as it got a little cold, I was like, it really feels like Plagueis weather up in here. And I've just listened to it. It really is. There's part of me that wants to be trendy and hipster, and it's like, I love Legends books nobody's ever heard of. But
For sure.
this one really is. It really does take the cake as one of the masterpieces. Who's up next? Freddie.
Yeah, well,
pointed wrong direction. Freddie.
Luke Skywalker, and the
Roll it
Shadows
again.
of Mindor. Kidding, that is not.
It's the off-brand version.
There's a flying
Luke
volcano
Skywalker.
in Shadows of Mindor. There's a flying freaking volcano.
Like Avatar or something.
There you go.
Okay, try it again.
Yeah, so
Take it away, Freddie.
yeah, it's not Luke Skywalker and the Shadows at the Splinter of the Mind's Eye.
.com.
It is
What?
.com. It is actually this book here, which happens to be my meme. I guess I talk about it a lot, but it was my introduction to.
Here,
it's
hold
my
it up with a thumbnail.
Hold on, get the light out of there. There you go. Oh yeah,
Gee, what book is that, Freddie? I cannot imagine what book this could possibly be.
this book here. If you're on the audio, you're not seeing what I'm showing here, but it's a truce at Bakura, and I should do the audiobook for this. What do you guys think?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
It's got to be coming, right?
Yeah.
Listen-
Youtini audio drama, Legends Look Back exclusive, Patreon exclusive. Audio
you
drama
go.
of the Truce of Bakura.
We got to start with a short story.
You got to
or
read the whole
something
thing.
instead
It'll
of
take you like
No,
14
whole thing.
hours, but read the whole thing. All right. It's for the
Yeah.
content, Freddie.
I mean, look what I'm wearing. I'm all in. So yeah, this is a lot of Legends books. You'll talk to a lot of people. What is your favorite Star Wars book? And it really tends to be even, I guess, not really the best book, but just the book that introduced them to Star Wars, right? So
Yeah.
we had several people on the show who, Courtship of Princess Leia was their favorite book, and that it's a legitimately good book. Not as good as Truce of Bakura, but but that's how I rate this book. It's the first thing that I'll never forget. I looked at it and I was like, "There's a Star Wars book. I like Star Wars. I didn't know they made books. This is actually the first book that I ever."
That's how so many of us get started,
acquired.
right?
Yeah, it even has the classroom number on here still. I don't know how that
Oh,
got
wow.
there.
Whoa.
Did you steal that from
Stole
school?
that from the children?
I acquired this
But the
book.
children love the books.
I was a children at the time.
It's an elf reference for anyone out there.
You're the reason kids are illiterate these days, Freddie.
There you go. And I'll never forget picking this book up, reading it, and thinking, "Holy cow, dinosaurs! There are dinosaurs in Star Wars." And it was it was
ironically,
mind-blowing.
that's what people read it today say also, Freddie.
Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
It's great.
I enjoyed the read, definitely. Now that I've gotten into, affectionately call the books that I have left the bottom of the barrel. Now that I've gotten there, Truce of Bakura really is standing out as an absolutely decent Legends book. So I say that with love. I'm actually quite enjoying the third book of the Lando Calrissian trilogy.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
Much to my surprise.
Lord.
It's
We're really struggling through that series.
Man, you are
It's something
really
else.
digging down there at the bottom of the barrel, too, Jared. Oh, man.
That's right.
Woo, okay.
Yeah, it's fun down here. A lot
Well,
of fun.
listen.
Okay.
They tend to they keep bringing very interesting additions to these Legends Essential Collections. Like when they finally put like the Lando Calrissian trilogy or like Truce of Bakura, when they slap that Legends Essential Collection on there, I'm just gonna be like, all right, now they're just making crap up at this point because like
I could
all
genuinely see them
essential.
doing it.
yeah, I genuinely think they're eventually just going to reprint all of them, but that's neither here nor there. And funny enough, even having read almost every single Legends book, I've never read the Lando trilogy, the Han trilogy, the Han Solo Adventures trilogy. I have read the AC Christmas trilogy, and the Truce of Bakura. I've never read those. It's the only ones, which is why it was so funny when I think you brought this up when I interviewed you, Freddie, of what your favorite Star Wars book
totally.
was. I'm pretty sure that you said something about Truce of Bakura, and I'm just like, oh yeah, that one's really good. I'm like, I have no idea what the hell he's talking about. Like, this is one of those really obscure Star Wars books that they don't sell anymore, so there's no way for me to find it, right? At Barnes and Noble, which is how I read all my books when I was a kid. So, yeah, I've always found it like it warms my heart that you've been so loyal to this book after all this time. It's cool. It's cool how books, even, we joke about them being quote unquote bad, but they're not really bad though. They're not though. It's still Star Wars and it's still a lot of fun, and the nostalgia that it brings you, like nobody can ever take that away. So, I think it makes books like IYKYK and Truce of Bakura and the Han Solo and Lando Calrissian Adventures fun, is even though they're kind of bad, they're still fun to love and talk about why you love them.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And I could not tell you how much I disliked the first two books in this trilogy, and then to get to the third one and like it was a huge surprise.
Yeah.
And it's a fun feeling because you never know. You just never know
I
what
know.
you're going to get. So, Emily, you are up next with a book that has, however, been reprinted in the Essential Legends collection, and that is...
Kenobi. I really did not like this book the first go round. I read it early on in my Star Wars journey, and I actually advocated for it to be removed from our Essential 6. I think there's like the Fabulous 5, and we added a sixth one. I was like, why is Kenobi even in here? It's not that great. But when we did the round table a couple months ago, it completely changed my mind. So do not just write off a book on the first read. Like, give it a good shot, discuss it with some friends, and it can really change your mind because now it is my favorite book.
Excellent. Yeah, it really is fantastic. My most recent reread was delightful, as always.
I love how
it is such a go-to.
I love how rereads will do that for you too. Like, I mean, we've that famously happened with Queen's Peril with us. I dare even say that name on this show because it has caused us so many problems over the years. But yeah, I mean, you change the medium, you discuss it with folks. I mean, I always leave our roundtable discussions with a better appreciation for the book than I maybe originally had. So that's a lot of fun to hear.
I think too, because I recently moved from the desert, and having lived in the desert for even just a brief time, like a year, it brought just a new life to that book. So I think the more you travel, the more you see things differently too. But I'm pretty homesick right now. I just got settled back in Georgia, and I'm really missing my desert, man. So ask in the chat for.
You're missing your desert. What a thing to say. What a Star Wars thing to say.
Tatooine has a special place in my heart now.
Wow. What a thing to say. I'm just like, I'm really missing my desert.
In the words
How
of
do I even
Obi-Wan
respond to
Kenobi
that?
himself, what a desolate place this is.
Yeah. Okay, great pick. We've got Shadowhunter, Darth Plagueis, Truce Bakura, Kenobi, Rick round out the list for our best book category.
I think I'm notoriously bad at having favorites. So this is kind of an answer, but the Revenge of the Sith novelization, I'll say, is my favorite. If we're gonna allow it, it's
I think you should.
Just for tonight, I'll allow it.
Thank you.
Even though it's not strictly Legends.
You know, we have
It's Legends enough
we've had a
to
lot
count.
of debate, like in the team, of how we call these film novelizations books. We called them loosely canon for a long time until we eventually just took away the terminology altogether and have said that it's officially a Legends book. But it'll be interesting. I wonder if they will ever reprint this one as an Essential Legends collection. That would be interesting.
I believe a representative from Del Rey has said on Twitter, no, they won't
do that?
But of course they could change that.
Yeah.
Because they want it to be this nebulous thing, like it's an interpretation
of
the film, but it does have a lot of Legends references.
It does.
It really
It does have a lot of Legends references.
You know,
And
one of the
I
things
certainly
that
think
I-
it's more Legends than it is canon, in my opinion. I think it is, personally.
One of the things that I like to call it, and I've been telling, a lot of people who don't know the difference between Legends and canon, they're just like, none of those mean anything to me. I just started calling it the George universe or the George era and then the Disney era, and they've started to get it like that. They're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was involved in the writing of
That's
this
the only
book.
one, too.
Sat down with the author.
If that information is correct, that he personally edited. Like they said that they gave him the Word doc, and he took stuff out and added words and stuff to it, which is
so cool.
insane
Wow.
to me.
I want a movie that is the making of the best Star Wars book ever written.
Yeah, I think so too.
And then the making of the worst Star Wars book ever written. And that one will never be released. And instead, we'll have to do a roundtable about the making of the worst Star Wars book ever written for Legends Look Back. Here's the problem. Okay, we've gone through our first category. We have too many categories. We're running out of time. Here's what we're going to have to do. For the next category, we're going to skip down to favorite Jedi. Everybody gets one sentence for your favorite Jedi. Okay? One sentence. If you go to two, Rick's going to cut you off.
Run on sentence.
And we're going to play you off with Across the Stars. Na, 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 like they do at the Oscars. Okay, favorite Jedi. You want to guess what my favorite is? I can't really quite decide. I've got two. I'll give you a hint. One has goat hooves, and the other is Buzz Lightyear.
Buzz Lightyear
What is
with
goat
BB-8
hooves?
body.
Oh my god!
How can you
Great,
choose?
you've read the
How
Darth
can you
Bane
choose?
trilogy.
Neither
Yes.
are
Corey's
fully
read the
human.
Darth Bane.
Why not both?
Por qué no?
Yeah,
Combine them.
Yes.
yeah. Emily, who are we talking about? Who are these Jedi?
Valentine Brand.
Valentine Farfalla. And I don't even know how you say that. And Patajoyos
Patajoyos brand.
I still need to encounter
Yeah.
this guy because my daughter's obsessed with the movie Lightyear. We've been watching it, and I just really
He
need
looks
to learn more
like
about
him.
this Jedi. Like,
That's right. You
Oh,
need to go
dear.
straight
BB-8
from Lightyear
Buzz.
to Dark Empire 2.
We watched
Just think-
Lightyear literally last night, and this tracks.
right?
It looks just like him.
Unironically, these are legitimately my two favorite Legends Jedi. No cap. All right,
mean-
they legitimately are.
In Patajoyos.
In Patajoyos, he's self-sacrificial.
Yes.
He's steampunk. He helps Luke usher in his new era of Jedi, and he gives him maybe it's Han. I don't know. I'm not going to reread
Keystone
Dark Empire
character,
2 anytime
if
soon.
you will.
He
right.
evacuates
He-
his
he-
bowels in his own like compartment. Like, I mean, what's not to love?
He's a ship.
Well, he does have a lightsaber built into his arm, which is rad, and he retrofits the Millennium Falcon steampunk. I mean, that's cool.
That is
Weird, I
cool.
thought
And he's a
we only
king.
had one sentence.
Oh,
dang
yeah.
it.
Just
He's also
run
a
on
king.
and on.
Did you also get the fact that he's a king? Okay, who's up next? Corey, your favorite Jedi.
I'll go. Listen, you guys have heard 1,000 times.
All right, guys, that's it. Moving on.
I didn't complete the sentence, okay? My first ever book was the 9th book in a 9-book series, the Legacy of the Jedi series, and I love all of those characters that are heavily depicted. You know, the Solo children, Ben Skywalker. I loved all those folks. I love Jaina Solo's character arc. She gets trained by Boba Fett in that series and then kicks her brother's
So cool.
tail, and it's fantastic. I love her. The Sword of the Jedi, you know, there was supposed to be a book written, right? It was going to be called The Sword of the Jedi, and it never saw the light of day. And a lot of folks have been requesting that. I think if there's ever a Legends book that could be brought to life again, I could see that being it. Maybe. Like, I don't know.
Don't say those things to me, Corey.
I know.
Don't tease me like that. I've got the shakes. I'm so eager for it.
Yeah.
I recently found Sword of the Jedi fan fiction where some crazy Legends fan out there, if you're listening,
I'm
I love
telling you, yeah, I've seen that.
But it's a crazy move.
It's pretty
they're
good
like-
too. It's not that bad. The one I read wasn't that bad, so I don't know about.
You read one?
Not
Oh
a
my
whole
gosh.
thing, but it was years ago,
Okay.
like back when I was really into that.
Breaking news.
Yeah, a long time ago, man.
Corey read Legends fan fiction. That's the next episode. Of
I'm
Legends
telling
Look
you,
Back.
I'm pretty well read in the Legends world, so you know.
Yes, awesome. I love it. Great pick. Freddie, you're up next.
Okay, so I had a hard time here because I wanted to pick Quinlan Vos because I love Quinlan Vos. I think he's like one of my favorite characters. But I started thinking, I was like, okay, I really don't like Jedi. A lot of Jedi for some reason. But there was one that stood out to me, and it's funny because he's a Jedi exile. And for those of you who know, that's Zane Carrick. Big fan of Zane. He's at the right place at the wrong time, but at the right time all the time.
All the time. What a great quote.
Awesome.
And that's my sentence. But
Do it
yeah,
again. Say it one more time.
Zane. He's at the right place at the wrong time at the right time all the time. I want
Wow.
John Jackson Miller to write that on a book sometime.
Sounds like a Star Wars.
That
really
needs
good
to go on
Dr.
the back.
Seuss.
It's really good, yeah.
I love that.
Well, everything Freddie says when he's dressed like that sounds like Dr. Seuss. Or if it's not, it should be. What a great pick. Zane Carrick, hope that makes Skooma Joe happy there in the chat. Oh, yep, he's in all caps. Great, love it. It's his favorite series for sure. He's officially requested a Volume 2 roundtable on Knights of the Old Republic. Rick, Emily, you think you're up for 55 issues of a comic series?
Yeah.
best.
JJM,
It
let's
might
do
need
One
it.
of
a
the
couple
best.
months' notice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
What a
sign
spirit.
That for a time when I don't know. Yes, I'm in.
When you're back in the desert. There we go. Okay. And Rick, your favorite Jedi.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
That's not the most legendsy
All right,
answer
moving
ever.
on.
I didn't get to answer mine. You skipped me.
Oh, okay. We can come to you. Yeah, absolutely. First, Rick, explain why Obi-Wan. One sentence.
No. You missed your chance. Don't get anything now.
Rick, I want to hear. I love Obi-Wan. Everybody loves Obi-Wan.
Well, like I
about
said, I love Revenge of the Sith, and I love Kenobi. Two of my favorite books, and so a lot of Kenobi in them. Plus, I haven't read a lot of 90s, early 2000s Legends. That's way after the original trilogy to explore, where there's actually a lot of Jedi. So most of what I read didn't have a lot of Jedi around. And
Okay, good answer.
I don't like Farfalla. I think he's overrated, so there's that.
Oh man.
Yeah, well, he's a better dresser than you. That's
Oh, no doubt.
He would have owned a suit jacket.
Custom made for his hooves.
So, hooves. I don't like the word hooves. Hooves.
Did you
like
know,
part throw up.
Corey, that the Jedi
Oops.
from the Bane trilogy the flamboyant one who takes over for Hoth. He's the main character,
Yeah,
Jedi in the second book. Has goat hooves.
No,
He's half Bothan.
I genuinely did not know that. Like, genuinely. I re-listened to the audiobook for the Darth Bane series, like, right before I listened to Plagueis, like, last year. So, like, I cannot believe I didn't remember that. They must have glossed right over that in the book.
If it specifies him running, right? You know how they, like, you know, he do they say he galloped along or he clopped along?
It's like, this is so...
His hooves clipped along the ground as he rushed into battle.
Yeah.
Oh, peak Legends right there, baby. There we go.
In all honesty, it's not in the books. It's only in the comic that then is adapted into the book. So that's Legends for you. Okay, Emily, you're dying to go here. Your favorite Jedi is not Valentine Farfalla. It is who?
Revan. The good, the bad,
The Jedi.
redemption, the legend.
Interesting.
Yes.
The legend.
Yeah.
The
I mean,
Jedi
what
side of
an awesome
Revan is fascinating. I think people are far more obsessed with the Sith side, but I'm more interested in the Jedi side as well. His whole role in the Mandalorian Wars, all that is super fascinating. I love that.
So unique.
It's seriously is.
I'm like wanting to stand up and grab my Revan Funko Pops, but I don't want y'all to see that I'm in shorts with my suit.
He's naked from the waist
I
down,
wouldn't-
just like
Grab
Palpatine.
I don't want to show off the thigh on camera.
Maybe it's half
Same.
Bothan on the bottom half, like Farfalla. Okay.
Yeah, unlike
pants are
Freddy, he
matching.
came
That's right,
prepared.
Yeah, my pants
That's
are
what I
matching.
don't
In
want
case
you
the
to
camera
see.
fell again,
Yeah.
like it always does.
That's right. No joke. Freddy's pants are matched.
I'll stand up a little bit. Here.
Legitimately.
Turn around.
Look
They
at this.
legitimately.
I'm so impressed. Look at this.
legitimately
Oh, look at me. Nice.
Oh,
I
man.
need more.
Oh, God.
Oh, and Jared disappeared. Where'd Jared go? We
Yeah,
lost
he's-
him.
Grab my Funko Pops. I gotta show Emily since it's her favorite character. All right, I've got the Jedi Revan Funko Pop. He's in the light
There is
side
not
robe.
a cooler mask in Star Wars either. You cannot tell me I'm wrong. Like the
and the way
mask
he
of
acquired it,
Revan,
too.
it's so
And then I've
badass.
got the dark side one.
Oh man, those are sick.
And now they
How can
kiss.
you beat
Just
that?
kidding.
And y'all know I love some Sith.
Yes, and the fact that he also has a purple lightsaber is like the coolest thing ever. A purple and red. Name a more iconic duo.
Dual wielding. That's right. Oh yeah, for sure. Hey, Freddie, remember at Celebration when we ran into Malik hanging out with Bastila?
Oh yeah, and then the lumpy.
Because
not the lumpy. It was not lumpy. I saw lumpy there too. Actually, I saw lumpy. But the
Lumpy.
the sad Revan is what I was going for. I don't know why I said lumpy.
Yeah,
Sad
the two people
Revan?
in front of them is a Revan, and it's a very wimpy Revan costume. Bless his heart.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think the boy had just kind of had a long day. He was hanging out with his dad, took his mask off, and he looked dehydrated, waiting in the long line. And two people behind them is Buff Malik hanging. That's Nihilus. That's
Yeah,
Nihilus.
yeah, sorry.
He's hanging out with Buff Malik, hanging out with Bastila. And I turned to Freddie and said, "Hey, you know why Revan's sad? Because Bastila stole your girl."
Jared
Because
loved
Malik
it.
ruined the joke.
That is so many layers deep. Like to understand.
Malik.
Like I had this meta moment last week on The Living Force. Where I was like, guys, we know so much about Star Wars. It's like almost problematic. Like truly.
Yeah, if I explained to my coworkers that joke, they would not have a clue.
No. I mean, it would take you 10 minutes to explain. Like at least. Like yeah.
Yeah. The 2003 Game of the Year. Okay, there's a lot there. Let's talk about, speaking of us knowing too much, we're going to dive deep. Last Legends category here before we do one more. Show specific. The weirdest story in Star Wars Legends. That's right. You can only get this kind of content on the 100th episode of Legends Look Back. My pick, this one's just for you, Freddie. We did our Boba Fett character episode, and you surprised me with a story.
Yes.
I'm not even sure what this one was. Was it The Fat Lady Sings? It's one of those that was drawn by Cam Kennedy, who drew Dark Empire. All right, Emily, Rick, Freddie, it's going to sound like I'm making this up.
If this is the one that I remember with the magician or whatever.
There's a magician
Yeah.
and a hut. And that's all I remember, but it was weird.
So basically, the magician had an actual power to transport people, but we had to watch him juggling and stuff. We had to actually see this in comic panels, like multiple magic tricks, and it's almost like, what is this doing here in this Boba Fett story?
It is. If you guys go back and watch the episode of Legends Look Back where Freddie and I were talking about Boba Fett, the segment of the show where Freddie is explaining this story to me, my eyes glaze over.
Yeah.
And then at the end of it, I said, "What?" And then he retold the entire story to me live on air.
Yeah.
And at the end, I was like, that still makes less sense to me than it did the first
Boba
time.
Fett
he
captures
told
a
me the story.
magician.
That's my pick. The time Boba Fett captured a magician and sold him to a hut. Who is up next? Corey, you're the weirdest Star Wars legend story.
This is also almost a cliche, but I have to go with Luke. How else do you say it? Luke? I don't know. Luke with two U's. I mean, Legends. There's a few moments in Legends history in which it truly went off the rails. Truly, like just totally off of everything else that was being created at the time, and the whole Luke throne, his DNA was. Good Lord, what was the story? They found his hand from Cloud City and like put it in a vat of acid or something, and like they cloned him from that, and it's just the most insane, ridiculous thing I think that ever happened in Legends. That was truly a horrible character arc that should have never happened. But this is like,
and it's in one of the most widely beloved Star Wars trilogies of all time.
It is. It's truly. It's insane that it even happened, and. I really hope they never do anything with this, because they have brought Mount Tantis, right? They brought that into canon now too, right? So please don't go there. That's all I have to say.
You don't want to see this in live action?
Oh my God, it's Thrawn with his hand. Get out! I cannot believe you had that.
Now, Rick, I believe we actually have an image of Lu'uk from the Last Command comic adaptation. This is Lu'uk Skywalker. That is evil cloned Luke Skywalker who has to fight against Luke Skywalker, but he's using Luke Skywalker's first lightsaber, the one that Anakin had, and then it goes to Mara Jade, and then it's the Legacy Skywalker saber.
Oh, dear.
Did you know that it belonged to Luke Skywalker?
Yeah.
My favorite is...
For more on this story, coming up next week on Legends Look Back 101, we're going to talk about the weirdest... No, what were we talking about? The Star Wars Legends moments you never thought you needed to know. And we're talking about...
And wished you hadn't.
Who was almost... The character who was almost Luke Skywalker. Zahn wanted somebody else. Who was it? We'll talk about it next week. What'd you want to say, Freddie?
Oh, no, just I love the fact that they went back and they're like, hey, what should we name this clone?
Yeah, that's the worst. That's the worst. That's the worst part, I think. It's just... I could accept the character arc, honestly, if they literally didn't just put a separate U in Luke's name. Like, this is just the goofiest thing that's ever happened. I came across some Reddit posts recently, because I was doing some research for the show of like, gosh, what are some of the weirdest things that I've forgotten about Legends? And someone said I basically, there was a period of my life when I stopped reading all Star Wars because of the whole Luke situation. I was like, okay, I can maybe get behind that. All right. If there was a time to maybe jump ship for a little while, that's crazy. So, wild stuff happened in those early days. And like you say, it is crazy that it was in such an iconic trilogy for sure.
What's the better alternative though? Like double L's, like Lala Luke,
Lake.
or
I don't know.
Like, do you just go with other Bible names like Mark? I don't know.
Mark.
Mark. M-A-A-R-K. There we go.
Imagine if they cloned Chewbacca. Chewbacca.
We've got a great pick from Blind Fates here in the chat. Jordan says his pick is issue number 77 of the Marvel run. Editing this a little bit for cleanliness. He says there are werewolf gremlins at a Zeltron dinner party.
Yikes.
Need I say more?
That should say a lot.
Honestly, you could just like pop open the 70s Marvel run, like close your eyes, flip to a page and point and land on something that kind of probably fits this category, honestly. Yeah.
Jackson
truly.
existing.
Yeah, right.
Jackson being a ladies' man. Yeah. We reread that recently. He's pretty good with the ladies. That's right. Okay, who is up next? I got out of order last time and I got in trouble. Freddie.
So I definitely think one of the weirdest things I've read in Star Wars, and it happens to be my favorite, of course, are the entekments. I mean, it's definitely unexpected when you think about it, just taking people's souls and putting them into robots, droids. Definitely very odd kind of main issue in the whole story, if that makes sense. And I guess the next one is kind of like an honorable mention, but I think the Rakata in general are just very weird.
Yeah. I always thought that too, man. Especially when with the KOTOR games and stuff, like the ricotta being introduced. I remember getting that as a kid and like not like understanding what the heck was going on. It's like these weird alien people and they're still like alive and stuff. Like, what are we doing right now? Yeah, the fish heads, like
the murderous Jedi evil fish heads. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What's wrong with those?
What was it? Was it
They're totally normal.
Was it the Korriban that were in? Was it Blood Ties? Like the weird
Korriban's a planet.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
I know what you're talking about, though. There's
The weird face creatures that eat people for sacrifice.
Yeah, yeah, who are those guys?
Yeah.
Xanabar.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Xanabar.
Xanadu.
Zazzabar.
Xanabar. All right, we got to find a picture of that.
Star Wars.
Those things are horrific.
They were
wild,
creepy.
guys.
Coming up out of their face.
Yeah.
Check out the Blood Ties issue. The episode.
Yeah.
That one was a lot of fun. Good pull, Rick.
Thank you.
Good pull, Rick. Is that
No,
your, is that
it's
your
not.
choice?
Mine, I was going to go
Okay.
with the fact that Grand Moff Tarkin had a love interest, and it was like his protege, Admiral Dala, and like reading about how she was into him just like creeps me out. So
I don't like
that's
that.
the weirdest for me.
I weirdly don't remember that either. When did that happen?
Jedi Academy trilogy.
Jedi Academy.
The Jedi Academy. It has been
That
a hot
relationship-
minute since I've read that trilogy. It's probably been 20 years or something like that. I don't know.
That relationship is explicitly detailed
Ugh.
in the novel Death Star.
I don't like that.
Like it's
And the where?
there's whole Death Star, the novel Death Star. Read it for
Ew,
my
I bet.
the Race to the
Came
Finish.
first.
Jedi Academy trilogy did.
Okay.
So this one like elaborated on it. It's got sections in the book where Dala goes to visit Tarkin on the Death Star, and they're flirting,
All right,
and they're at the bar,
move
and he's like, "Hey, I think I need some help with some battle plans up in my room."
Oh,
And
I don't like that one bit.
seriously,
Your-
dozens of chapters of that.
Your
Dozens.
dress code needs to be inspected.
Very much so.
man.
I'm not kidding. Legitimately.
Oh, I
Maybe a
don't
dozen
like that
chapters of that
one
relationship.
bit. Oh,
Okay,
dear.
good. And Emily, your pick for weirdest
I
moment.
mean, it has to be the Intekments at Trusa Bakura. I mean,
Yeah.
I
wildest thing.
can't find anything weirder. As I was reading it in the NICU, it's like hospital sober.
Oh my
setting,
God.
I was like laughing out loud. I had to put it down, and like at one point, my husband asked me what I was reading, and I.
The put
Can't even explain it.
I was like, I don't know how to explain what's happening.
I've never heard of this. I don't remember this at all. It says this was in appearances in Trusa Bakura, Children of the Jedi. Apparently, it's mentioned, and it's also mentioned in like some of the New Jedi Order books. Apparently, I have no memory of this
Yeah,
whatsoever.
they go back to Bakura. Why does everybody want to go back to Bakura? Hey, Emily, you know how you don't know who Empatajoyos Brand is and you want to, so you're going to read Dark Empire too? There's another kind of Intekment-ish thing that happens in Dark Empire too.
gosh.
There's souls trapped in
yeah.
in droid fighters.
They're the weirdest drawn thing too. They're basically TIE fighters, but the cockpit of the TIE fighter looks like the TIE fighter's helmet. It's weird. It almost looks like a person. And
the heck?
they take
Yeah,
the
kinda
pilot,
bug-like.
they take the brain of the pilot and basically put it inside of this vehicle.
Yeah, as Jacob describes it, our buddy Jacob, he says that it's like putting Dark Empire's a 10, and then we're just going to amp the crazy up to 12. That's what this is. So if you thought that was weird, you're going to love Dark Empire too. So one last category before we are done tonight. We had to cut so many good ones. We will get there eventually, sooner or later. Future episodes. Here's to 100 more, right? Whew, surely. Yeah, no problem. No big deal. At the pace we're going, one a week, definitely. We'll get there, for sure. Freddie bought a suit. We've got to. Okay, here's the last category, and that is the funniest moments in Legends Look Back history. My choice, I believe Rick has a clip of. Freddie, set the stage for the good folks. Tell the people about Ralra, the Wookiee.
Oh, goodness gracious.
From the Thrawn trilogy.
Oh,
Okay,
dear.
so in the Thrawn trilogy, there is a Wookiee who is criticized by his own because he has a speech impediment, and that speech impediment gives him the ability, him or her or it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Gives the Wookiee the ability to speak basic. and we have a clip of what that sounds like. And I know there's a few people, any Legends fans out there who know what this is. We apologize in advance. But
Read by the great Mark Thompson. This is one of his most outstanding performances in any Star Wars audiobook.
We're hyping this up so big. I really hope I have the right clip, and I don't disappoint everybody right now. That's not it. Dang it.
No, that's the wrong one.
All right, give me a second.
All right. It's like a plot device. You've
I
got to
listened
have
to
a
this
Wookiee.
recently.
You've gotta have-
Yeah, 'cause they can't understand him. All right, somebody doesn't speak Wookiee. Is it Leia doesn't speak Wookiee? I think maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
No, she can't.
Yeah. She can't understand it.
Shirawook.
Yeah, Shriwook. I'm sorry,
Shriwook,
can't
yeah.
speak Wookiee.
Han can because
I mean to be
he was raised
offensive.
by Wookiees.
Yes,
You know,
right,
that's,
right.
that's the Legends.
I'm
thing.
ready. Here we
Raised
go.
by
Here we go.
Wookiees.
I think.
Wow.
Yeah, we actually couldn't hear it on our end due to the technology, but it really is a stellar performance of. I like the moment when he says, "My name is," but you can call me. but you can call me.
You know what?
Impersonation is spot on, Jared.
You have to admit, if there's a Wookiee who has a speech impediment that can speak basic, how is it going to sound? Mark Thompson nailed it.
I don't know. Do you think that like, you know, he's reading the book and stuff, you know, because I don't know if he, you know, we have interviewed him a couple times. I don't know if he's ever said that he like reads the whole book at least once before he like starts to perform. I think he was like reading ahead to what he has to do at work tomorrow, and he's like looking, he's like, oh no. Oh no. How am I going to do this? I have to like pretend I know what I'm doing. How am I going to do it? And then he just like, it's just like, what the heck?
That's a question we've got to ask him.
Exactly.
Next time that we impromptu interview him, and I have exactly 3.5 minutes to do so, I'm going to do that impression for him. For sure. Definitely. Well, all right. Corey, what is your pick for funniest moment?
It has to be Chives for me. It has to be Chives. That clip, we played that on Living Force as the the ad roll for like weeks, and like our audio isn't live during the ads that we play, and literally every single week we just couldn't stop laughing. Like we had to like stop playing it on the show because it was the funniest thing that I've ever seen. It was so good. The way that everybody just kind of like threw in their own little thing to that. I've never laughed so hard in my life. It was so good.
It's a team effort.
Chives.
It's definitely a team effort.
Chives? And then it's the edit. You know, you have the clip? Okay, please play it.
Yeah, here we go.
What a great
The
moment.
potato.
I'm definitely not
The
tired.
potato on the screen is what does it for me, man. It's just so funny. I think Jacob edited that on our team, I'm pretty sure. Or, it was either Jacob
Well
or
done,
Emma. I
Jacob.
can't remember who edited. I think it was Jacob. And, oh, man, he killed it.
Well done. I'm not tired of that clip at all. I absolutely love that for sure. Okay, what else do we have? Freddie, you're up next.
Well, okay, this is the hard one because I feel like I've gone back to listen to a good amount of episodes, and there's a lot of good, funny moments everywhere. There's a lot of little gold pieces, gold nuggets, and it's so hard to really pick one. But I would say, you know, the memes that seem to have followed us around, and definitely we perpetuate it. We're not gonna lie about it. But we've got Naked Palps. We've got Hot Dog Boba Fett. I remember Spready Freddy being a thing. That was weird.
That was a good one. I tried to find that clip, Freddie. I've got October 2020. That's as far as I was able to get. I could not find the episode.
And then of course recently, which I think we said this on the Cosmic Force yesterday. What was it? Pickled Snoke. Pickled Snoke. So we've got Pickled Snoke, Hot Dog Boba Fett, Naked Palps, Chives,
Spready Freddy.
Spready Freddy. There's so many memeable moments in Legends Look Back.
Truly. I think that
Very
that
memeable.
happens when you've been around each other for as long as you guys have. I mean, there's just like running jokes at this point. Like even it's so wild to me, even being on this show, like this far into your development that I've never been on before. It's like you just have your own like little mini culture here, and it's so cool, like and fun. And I think that's what makes this thing so wild and fun, and why you've survived as long as you have. Like. It's a lot of fun.
That's right.
It's a lot
We've
of fun.
survived on a diet of Naked Palps.
That's right. And Hot Dog Boba Fett.
And Hot Dog Boba Fett. Breakfast of Champions. Emily, you are up next. What is your pick?
Okay, so it's pretty early on. and Rick and I were still kind of feeling out where we were in like the whole vibe, and we were doing a thrift and thrift store, and Jared, you brought out something that you were really proud of, and it came down to Rick. He was the very last one to go, and he was like, actually, and he brought out like a better version of what you just bought, and that was precious to me because I was like, okay, we can do this. Rick and I were in it. We're doing it.
That's right. I got you partnered. Yeah.
I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, that was great. I loved that moment for sure. Okay.
And then I kept doing it every time.
I think the takeaway is just we really love it, Jared, when you're just really humbled and
Yeah.
like we're just making fun of you, ragging on you. You do such a good job with the show, and you're on your game
Yes.
so much of the time. It's
Yes.
really fun to poke fun at you a little bit because
He
you don't
is
make it
human.
easy. He is human.
We've got some. Yeah. Andrew likes the Spready Freddy callback. Let's make fun of Freddy for a minute, please. Okay. And Mia says the Salacious Crumb costume.
Nice.
That was good.
Oh, that was
good.
classic. Yep.
Okay. And Rick, your
All
pick.
right, so I got two. I'll be quick. First time my wife got in the chat, she was throwing some shade, and that was funny. 'cause
Oh, yeah. She really throws it on thick.
She's spicy. I love her. And so I forget what she said exactly, but it was a funny moment for sure. And then there was that one time, I forget what episode, but after every episode, we always like hang out and talk. And I had ended the episode, like I'd switched to the end screen, but I never clicked stop streaming, and I switched back over to our group, like just chat for like 15
dear.
seconds.
We've done that
And
before.
So we're just hanging out, and then like the sheer look of terror as I realize what's going on, and I'm just like, I don't know how to stop it. So it was
Oh,
bad
man.
for
That's
me.
been scrubbed from the internet forever. Do not look for
That
it
is
anyway.
correct.
Okay. And it's got some good.
bad. It's just our normal like, oh yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah.
The one time,
Oh,
Freddie and I
God, thank
had,
God that show's over. Man, that sucked. Am I right, guys?
Freddie and I think you and I had a 30-ish episode streak of 0 swears on the show.
Oh, my gosh.
And even from guests, even Heather had been on, and we
What?
had not had a swear.
I can't believe
and,
that.
we've since broken it, but nothing egregious, very small. And one time I accidentally swore. I'm a minister. I accidentally swore. But I was quoting somebody. It wasn't my swear.
Oh,
It was
okay.
okay because I was quoting. And Meg had gone live, and I didn't know my mic was on, and I said it, and she goes, "Jared, by the way, you're live." Such a good moment.
Oops, that was
It's been a lot of
Jared.
fun. You gotta.
That was somebody else.
Wasn't me.
So I broke the streak. That's right.
Just a
Okay,
reminder.
so we've got
just a reminder
a request
that the producers have all the power. So there you go.
Very true. That's exactly a reminder there. And a request from Jordan in the chat says the Depa Balaba stare is a pick for the
Oh,
funniest
dear.
moment.
That was
Yeah, the deadpan,
Yeah.
the deadpan stare in the back
Into the
of
camera.
Shatterpoint, just right into the camera. It's the scariest thing. Right over Mace Windu's shoulder, the deadpan stare. It's okay. So that's the moment. You're welcome.
Oh,
I
gosh.
said Criff on the show. Oh, Freddie's right in the camera. That was that was a genuine shriek there. Okay, and guys, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you, Corey, for joining. It's been a blast.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. Congrats again on 100 episodes. This is a momentous occasion when any show makes it to 100. So seriously, congratulations. It's been a blast to watch the show develop over time. I know it only has good, positive, amazing things in its future, as long as memes like Naked Palpatine, Hot Dog Boba Fett, and Chives survive. As long as they do, you guys will be golden.
Thank you. I hope that our Youtini little trophies, the golden ones, are in the mail.
Yeah, one
And
day.
not broken.
They are, I'm sure. I hope they don't get lost. God forbid. All right.
Honestly, I brought home my weight in stickers and pins from
That's true.
Celebration,
I still have a whole bunch of them in my closet, too, so dig those out.
Well, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this week. Real quick, just tell a little bit about what is coming up on future episodes. Next episode of Legends Look Back next Thursday. That said, Legends 101, everything you never thought you ever needed to know about Legends. And what'd you say, Corey? And wish you hadn't?
Yes.
Backtracking a little bit, last night on the Cosmic Force, Freddie, tell the good folks what we did last night.
Yeah, last night we talked about Dark Empire, one of actually it's on Jared's body. That's how much he likes it. So definitely one of our
That's
favorites. And Check it out. It's a fantastic episode. We recorded that on the eve of our 100 episodes, so that energy was there for sure.
Yeah, there you
It
go.
was palpable and clothed. Okay, and Corey, coming up next week, what are you guys in the middle of right now on The Living Force?
Absolutely. We're in the middle of our two-part roundtable on Shadow of the Sith. If you are a canon reader, this is probably the most, not want to miss book, I guess, that ties into the sequel trilogy. We're having a lot of fun kind of talking about it. The sheer volume of stuff that it accomplished is utterly nuts. I mean, pretty much every single problem with The Rise of Skywalker is kind of addressed in this book. It's a lot of fun. It's a good read. It's a heavy read. We're right in the middle of our roundtable. Next week, we are finishing up our character study. And we're going to talk about big picture questions as well as all of the Easter eggs. And I've already seen the list, and Charles outdone himself on this one. It is
I can't wait.
quite
There's a lot of Easter eggs.
list of Easter eggs. A lot of legend stuff, too, actually. They name
Hot
dropped.
chocolate's in there?
Yes, they named dropped hot chocolate. We talked about that in Slack recently. Luke and Lando kind of share hot chocolate in this, which is such a throwback to Heir to the Empire, which is fantastic. And also they name dropped the Errant Venture, which I'm not sure if that's the first time this has been dropped. That's what's his name? Booster Terek's Star Destroyer
His candy
casino,
apple red
whatever
casino
it
Star
is. Yeah,
Destroyer.
it's ridiculous. Yeah, which is your Booster Terek. Let's do the what's the Kevin Bacon? Two things removed from Kevin. What is it? It's not Corin Horn is in canon these days. It's like Booster Terek. His daughter is Mirax, and Mirax marries Corin Horn, and now he's canon. So there you go. Spoiler? That's not a spoiler.
Yeah.
It's like 20, 30 years old. It can't be a spoiler. Do you guys do that every single time you name a spoiler on this show?
Yes.
Rick's in the middle of reading the Krytos Trap.
The Krytos Trap? Come on.
Yeah. I know. I love it. It's been good.
We just got the Essential Legends.
Krytos Trap is considered one of the best ones, I believe, of that series, is it not?
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
right.
That's
right.
I'm on
And
my...
Corey loves it.
Yep.
It's in his top 10 Legends books. And that does it for this week. Thank you for joining us for Legends Look Back. Thank you to our incredible patrons for your support. We love making the show, all 100 episodes of it, and we are glad you are along for the ride. A special thank you to our Jedi High Council, Brian Dooley, Earl Q, Robert Thomas, Patrick Ortiz, and Carl Sander, and also to our Alliance High Command, Elizabeth Cloutier, Sally, and Chris Eilerson. Remember, everybody, to sub to the channel. Leave us a review in your podcast platform of choice, especially if it's 5 stars. You know what I'm saying? And, of course, if you'd like your thoughts read on the show, you can email us at legendslookback@youtini.com. Send a message in the Legends Look Back Discord channel. You can leave a comment on this episode on YouTube, or you can find us on Twitter at Legends Look Back. I'm at Jared Q. Mays. Freddie.
At Wake Up Freddy.
Rick.
At Rick_Grace.
Emily.
At Darth Daybeck.
And Corey.
At Corey M. Helton.
Awesome. Definitely gonna follow you for all the doctor advice, right? That's what you're giving?
Yeah,
Medical
I give lots of that out on the internet for free. Yep, there's no liability with that whatsoever.
And for legality's sake, that's not true. And thank you, everybody, of course, for joining us for this very special 100th episode. If you'd like to check out some of the books we've talked about here live on the air and want to help support the show, such as some of our favorite books like Darth Plagueis and Shadowhunter and Truce Booker, if you're so inclined, you can go on over to youtini.com, click the Amazon link in the profile, and, of course, after you've read the book, you can leave us a review and let us know what you think. But remember, no matter what you think, keep the Youtini fan code and be a force for positivity in the fandom. May the Force be with you.
This is a Youtini broadcast.